What's up, you guys? Julien here. Today we're going to go through the winterization on a 2023 Spark. This Sea-Doo has a naturally aspirated Rotax engine. It's very easy to maintain and it's very easy to winterize. We're going to store this unit in a cold environment this winter, so we have to do a couple steps to get it ready for the spring. So let's have a look at all these steps. Sea-Doo has what is called a closed loop cooling system, which means there's no water running through the engine to cool it down, but there's still water running through the exhaust system. It's very important to make sure we remove all the water through the exhaust system. So we're going to run the engine for like a minute using a garden hose and antifreeze. We're going to run that through the exhaust, make sure all the water is replaced by antifreeze, so this way there's no damage being done on very cold days this winter. On the Spark, it is a little bit tricky to access the engine bay. You do have to remove the top deck, so we're going to do that together. We have to remove all the bolts, and there's a couple of wire harnesses to disconnect and stuff. We have to split the hole from the top deck completely in order to access the engine bay, so let's do that together. Good. Now that the top deck and the hole are split open, we have full access to the engine bay. We can easily do an oil change now. So we're gonna take a basic oil pump. We're gonna remove all the oil that is currently in the motor. We're gonna put it in an empty canister, and we're gonna put some new, fresh XPS oil in there. And this should help us for a full new season of riding. These pumps are actually very easy to use. You just hook them up to your Sea-Doo battery and they work right away. We're gonna go ahead and remove the oil filter so we can change that at the same time. 3 bolts to remove. Sometimes there's a lot of oil left in the oil filter, so you have to use your pump to drain it. So in the XPS package, there's new fresh gasket for oil filter. So you take the old one off, you grab the new one, and you slide that on there. Add a little bit of oil on it, which will help. Slide it on. Perfect. We're gonna slide the new XPS oil filter on. Place the cap back on. Screw everything back in. The 3 initial screws are going back where they were. So we're gonna put new oils in. We have XPS synthetic oil here. We're gonna, usually the 900 Ace engine on the Spark takes 2 quarts of oil. So we're gonna start with 2 and then we'll measure with the dipstick and see what's up. Alright guys, now that we have easy access, we can actually add fuel stabilizer in the fuel tank. We have topped off the tank with premium gas, and we're going to use XPS fuel stabilizer. So for the Spark gas tank size, we need to add 4 ounces of the XPS fuel stabilizer. So we're going to do just that. Next step, we're going to remove the spark plug, and we're going to spray a little dab of the XPS storage oil inside there. We're going to do a little bit of dry crank also, which will run these through the cylinders. And after that, we're going to spray storage oil basically everywhere in the engine bay to prevent corrosion during the winter. Go. So we did have to put the deck of the Spark back on, just temporary, because in order to do a small crank after putting oil storage underneath the spark plug, you do need like the steering wheel, and you need to plug in the 2-wire harness that we unplugged previously. So Yannick, my friend, is gonna hold the throttle in, and we're gonna do 2 cranks. This way there's no fuel going through the ignition. It's only turning the cylinder and then running the storage oil through the system. And now we're gonna remove the deck again. We're gonna spray storage oil through the entire engine bay, and then that's it, we'll be done. So we are gonna put the 3 spark plug back in, make everything tight and nice, and then make sure everything's plugged in properly on those 3 cylinders. Last step, we're going to add storage oil throughout the entire engine. So we're just going to spray everything, every metal part, make sure it's all safe for the winter. Plug the 2 harnesses back in. Gonna have to plug the line that goes to the steering. Alright guys, we're basically done. Last step is we're going to add a little bit of grease in the hubs of the wheel of our trailer, and that's about it. So I hope you guys enjoy and have a great winter.